But listen, it's gonna be really hard to go to the judge and be like, listen, I have no connection to the mob. Anyways,
400 casinos throughout Eastern Europe. I came up to them and said, look, I want to do a franchise with you. They agreed.
It's gonna be really hard to talk to the judge. All right, guys, it's time for an Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate. It's time for a Tate terrific update. All right. We haven't talked about the Tates in a little while. A couple of days ago, while I was on break, something came out that I thought was interesting. It was that the Romanian government was upgrading their crime from after a long time being quiet and them just being forced to be in captivity, like the animals they are for a little while. I heard that the Romanian government upgraded their charges from individual charges of, trafficking and all of that type of stuff to they balled them all up, they squished them all up together into one big circular crime of harming many women in a big operation to harm women, as Tate was known to do. And that was the last thing I heard about it. And I was like, I'm glad that the case is still going on, but I haven't seen anything about this yet. With that being said, yesterday, everybody who was waiting for something to happen with this case got their wish. All right. And Tristan and Andrew went online and they were like, nothing happened. Nothing bad's gonna happen, guys. It's all fine. They got no evidence against us.
A lot of the people who support me say, but he hasn't been charged. He hasn't been charged. I agree with you. I haven't been charged, but I do believe if I had to predict the future that they will charge me. And the reason they're going to charge me is not because there's any evidence or because I'm guilty, but because such a big song and dance has been made. It can't just drop it now.
So anyways, he was like, oh, a lot of people come out there like, yo, they haven't been charged. They haven't been charged. Anyways, today, yes, they've been charged. And Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate have now been charged with various amounts of crimes. Let's go through some of it, okay? Update, he was charged. Update, he's going to jail. He is absolutely going to jail. L Tate. Tristan Tate has been getting really vocal recently. Tristan Tate's the guy who likes his girls young. I'm talking like 16. I'm talking like barely legal. In Romania, 16 is the age of consent. So he specifically said he liked to move to Romania because he likes his 16-year-old girls. Andrew Tate just likes his, women anyways. It doesn't really matter the age, but that's why they make such a good team. That's why they make such a good team together. Let's read this a little bit. Andrew Tate, a social media personality known for expressing misogynistic views online, appeared Wednesday in court in Romania, where prosecutors have charged him with R-wording women, human trafficking, and forming a criminal gang to exploit women. So here's the wild stuff about Andrew Tate. And if you don't know too much about this, you can look back at the old videos that we made. Editors, please put some up here. We made a couple videos about this. You can just check the channel, and in the description, you'll find the other videos we made on Andrew Tate before to go over some of the things that he said, because we can't go over literally everything that he did here, but he was well known for moving to Romania after his kickboxing career, starting a YouTube channel and Hustlers University, where he basically told people about his organization that he made to human traffic women into countries, steal their passports, hold them basically captive, and then have them make porn for him online, where he would then soak up the money from them doing porn for him. After he told them that he loved them and he would marry them, and he convinced them to go across the world to him, and then do that with multiple women in an organization where he would sex traffic them. That is sex trafficking. That is the definition of it, through fraud and manipulation. And he would have other women there to convince them of what they were doing, and then get his name and the organization tattooed on them, as well as their faces tattooed on them, to own them. And then have them work for him, as he sold the lifestyle as him being a super rich, super successful businessman. And he sold the idea of you need to listen to him, you need to use Hustlers University and all this type of stuff. When in all actuality, he didn't make any money from things like Hustlers University or business dealing. He got all of his money from exploiting women and forcing them to do porn for him. And then he would scoop up the money off the top, and then lie to them about the money that they were given, and threaten them with physical abuse, assault, until they were able to escape and alert the authorities. And that's when they got their house raided that first time that we covered, and the girls and an American and a Romanian girl got saved from their house, and then they got raided again, and that's when they went to jail, and then everything that happened up until now, right? Lots of stuff going on with that, but we'll cover that. But we've already covered that, so if you want to see that, check that out. But yeah, they've been up to a lot. If you heard of these guys before and wonder what they got famous for, it's human trafficking women. So these men their entire thing was just abusing women. Incredible, isn't it? You think people would just do that? Make men famous for abusing women? Really? Who could have thought? Who could have thought you could have gotten famous for that? The former professional kickboxer and his brother Tristan, who was also charged, arrived in the court in Bucharest, Romania, Romania's capital, flanked by 6 bodyguards. Tate, 36, has denied wrongdoing and said in a brief statement that he was being unfairly attacked. Reporters outside asked him, "How much money have you made from trafficking women?" And Tate says, 0. But it seems like the Tates, are on their way back to jail. I will say that ever since Andrew got out of jail, he's been acting super weird. He's been acting super strange. Some of you may have seen some of the stuff that he's been doing. It's just, it's really peculiar stuff. He started to get into, I'm not sure if he allowed his Twitter account to be run by other people or he's doing this himself. I don't know, but he just keeps doing this over and over again. He's been having, Nazi waifu. Girl, let's go to the movies waifu, He doesn't own this car anymore. It's gotten taken by the authorities. He also did this. So as you can see, he's doing very well ever since he got put on house. Oh. No, I'm sorry. I forgot about that. How long has this been muted? What did you hear? Did you hear them answering questions? Only this latest video? Okay, good. W. Anyways.
People are paying for this with money. They're paying for this voluntarily, watching this with their own time. And they go, "Oh, I don't know why I'm still a brokey stuck in the Matrix. I just enjoyed Ant-Man. Ant-Man is fucking, they're attacking your mind."
As you can see, he's doing quite well after he got back from jail. Been doing fantastically. As you can see, this investigation has not harmed his mental capacity at all. This investigation has not harmed his mental fortitude in the slightest.
What are you guys doing?
Oh, this you never seen it.
No.
Men like you. Anyone else has seen this? A few people? Very few. It's called the New World Voice Dance. You might have a voice. So dance exactly.
Yeah, they're doing very well. These are men who are going to beat the case, just so you know. These are men who are going to beat the case, just so you know. I appreciate them titties bouncing, no homo. Mods, snap his bones. Snap his bones, mods. Thank you. I appreciate you for that. Back when rumors were that he had cancer, I do not have cancer. My lungs contain precisely 0 smoking damage. In fact, I have an 8-liter lung capacity and have vital signs of the vital signs of an Olympic athlete. There is nothing but a scar on my lung from an old battle with smoke, just so you know. True warriors are scarred both on the inside and out. As you can see, he's working really hard out there. He's even flexing his grippers just in case he'll have to grab a knife with his toes and stab an inmate in the jugular if he disrespects him in Romanian prison. It's very important. Put him in the contraption, apparently, but stay away from them toes, bro. They're too strong. You don't understand it. You don't understand it, bro. It's dangerous. Listen, he's more dangerous without the swords, okay? Put him in the iron lung. Listen, he can serve out his court case by putting him in a submarine to go after the submarine that got lost. Hey, Tristan and Andrew both have to go and find. Yeah, he's like Prince Zuko. He has to go out and find the Avatar. He has to go and find the submarine that got lost, and he's not allowed to come back unless he comes back with them. I think that would be a suiting that'd be a suiting punishment for his crimes against humanity and women specifically. I would say. Anyways, let's read a little bit more into this, huh? Reporters asked him how much money he made off of trafficking women. Tate, whose social media posts includes luxury cars and displays of wealth, snapped back to say zero. He made a lot. He made a business out of exploiting women. It was literally his job. Literally his job. I don't know. Like, maybe these lies would work for your social media, but these lies literally will not work for a judge. After he, like, I think both Andrew and Tristan are they're done. I think they're both like completely fucking done, if I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, you can only get so far off of like lying. We've seen earlier in this stream. I don't think they're going to get very far when it comes to this. I hope so. The women they've added extra women onto the case. As far as I know, no women have like dropped out of the case. He bragged about fucking a 16-year-old. That is true. Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure 16 is the age of consent in Bucharest, which means that, I mean, like, Tristan is the 16-year-old hunter. Like, what he likes, he said specifically he likes them like as young as possible, which is a big reason why he was fine moving to Romania, because the age of consent is 16 there. Yeah, it depends on the court. I mean, I would like him to get bagged for that, because that's insane. That, like, you're a threat to the public if you're like a 36-year-old man and you like shit like that. You belong in federal prison, in my personal opinion. That's just, I don't know, that may just be me. That may be my woke sensibility. Yeah, tagged and bagged. That may be my woke sensibilities, but I don't know. Like 36-year-old men who love to hunt 16-year-old women, girls, I think is, you know, that he should be tagged and bagged for that one. Personally. Him like specifically going after 15, 16-year-old girls over Instagram to try to woo them with his shows of wealth, to try to get them to sex traffic them for his like business. I think that also makes you be tagged in the bag. So Tristan is like Onision. Worse. Much worse, actually. Much worse, actually. Orders of magnitude worse, actually. How is that possible? Well, he moved to a country to sex traffic 16-year-olds and rape them in his mansion in Bucharest. Now, I don't know exactly everything that like Onision did, but like that, as far as I know, Onision did not do that, and so this seems worse. Why isn't Gates in jail? We'll talk about that later. But I'm speaking from ignorance, because I don't know exactly what Onision did, but it seems like this is worse. But that's just me though. Prosecutors have filed charges against 2 Romanian women in the case. Romania's anti-organized crime agency alleges the 4 defendants formed a criminal group in 2021 in order to commit the crime of human trafficking in Romania, as well as the United States and Britain. The R-word cases, at least 2 of them were from Britain. Romania, I think there's one R-word case against Tate and maybe Tristan, if I remember correctly, but I haven't seen all the charges yet. Both are terrible. How about that? True. Content creators stop abusing women challenge impossible difficulty. The agency alleged that 7 female victims were misled and transported to Romania, where the gang sexually exploited and subjugated them to physical violence. One defendant accused of assaulting a woman twice in 2022, according to the agency, put him under the jail. Tate and his brother both hold dual British U.S. citizenship. Tate spokesman, Matia Petruscu, thank you, very cool lady, said Tuesday that the 2 were prepared to demonstrate their innocence and vindicate their reputations. Tate's legal team are prepared to cooperate fully with the appropriate authorities, presenting all necessary evidence to exonerate the brothers and expose any misinterpretations or false accusations. All 4 suspects were detained in last December in Bucharest. The brothers won an appeal on March 31st to move them from police custody to house arrest. Prosecutors ordered the confiscation of their assets, including 15 luxury cars. So if you ever have a tater tot come to you and ask you what color is your Bugatti, just let them know it's the same color as Tate's. Non-existent. They did yoink that shit back up. Watches and about $3 million in cryptocurrency. Romanian anti-organized crime agency known as DICOT said that 7 alleged victims were recruited with false declarations of love and taken to Romania's Ilfov country, where they were forced to take part in pornography. Women were allegedly controlled by intimidation, constant surveillance, and claims they were in debt, prosecutors say. As successful social media personalities, Tate acquired more than 6 million Twitter followers, many of them young men and teenage boys who look up to literal rapists. And they ask us why young boys are growing up to be bad young men. Well, probably their big creators and the people who they look up to are literally organized crime who make their job, whose job is to women. I just think personally, I wouldn't want to look up to that type of stuff. But younger guys who get transfixed by their flashes of wealth and the massive organization of older men on top of them, telling them that these guys are definitely super cool and you should look into them and they're going to lead you to what it means to be a real man. I mean, I can see how like a young guy could be alluring. I mean, people like fucking Ian Miles Chong with 29,000 likes, who, mind you, and just so you know, I think that he was able. This is just me personally. I think that he was able to expand his business with abusing women through his Twitter account, which is a big reason for why Twitter, before Elon Musk removed him. But Elon Musk thought that like abusing women through Twitter is actually super cool. Because mind you, all of the women that these guys were like bringing to Romania to sexually assault and like human traffic and abuse, to force to make pornography over the threat of physical violence and like taking away their passports, they were doing it through social media. Okay? Instagram accounts, Snapchat accounts, Twitter accounts, YouTube accounts, TikTok accounts. These are how they were able to, and this is how a lot of abusers online are able to connect with their victims. And it's really great that he got removed from Twitter. But Elon thought that like abusing and raping women actually isn't that big of a problem when it comes to Twitter's terms of service. So he opened the gates and thought that it would be super base to allow Andrew Tate back on. And so for a while he was being investigated, he was able to use his social media accounts to continue his business of sex trafficking women and human trafficking women. Some of them being in this country would be considered minors, which I just think is bad. But, you know, I'm just a triggered woke lefty at the end of the day, right? The charges against Andrew and Tristan Tate don't make much sense. It's so true. Saying that you're making a business off of sex trafficking women and then making a business off of sex trafficking women and then getting charged for it really doesn't make much sense. Thank you, Ian. Kidnapping half a dozen women to force them to make TikTok videos. It's not TikTok videos that they were making for millions of dollars. That sounds like that sounds so made up. It's not even funny. TikTok doesn't even pay that well. I gotta watch out what I say. But I'm gonna say right now, I wish I had a cinder block on me. I wish Ian Miles Chong walked onto a cartoonishly painted bullseye on the floor and had a baby grand piano slam onto his head. And then he opens the roof of the baby grand piano with his teeth replaced with the keys. And then as he tries to talk, the only thing that comes out is like is like fur release instead. That's what I wish. That's what I grab. I need my milkshake. Where's my goddamn milkshake, bro? Hassan thinks they're in the pockets of the mob. I mean, they work with the mob. Like, let's be completely honest with ourselves. We know, and he said specifically that he's worked with the mobs, with the mob. He has trafficked. He has like laundered money through his sex trafficking organization and his connections with the mob through casinos. Like, he's talked about this before. He's actually talked about this before. I'm not sure if I think he's working with the mob. Whether he's like completely in the pocket of them, I'm not sure. It's definitely possible to grab like obscene levels of wealth in such a short period of time, to be able to buy a Bugatti, to have like millions of dollars in crypto. Money laundering is going on here. Okay. Even if he was pumping out these girls and forcing them to work like super hard, I'm not sure if he'd be able to make like millions of dollars this quickly. I know he was able to capture a lot of money through his YouTube channels and accounts and being in like paid speaking tours to going on other like talk shows to talk about how base it is to human traffic women and like in his massive facade of being a manosphere saving Western men type guy. I know that's made like a lot of money, but that much money that quickly, I really think a lot of it has to come from the mob. And he's talked about his connection with the mob. I mean, this is the guy who's literally like, I want to move to Romania because the likelihood of me going to jail for, you know, assaulting women is way lower in Romania. Like, come on. Oh, I just found this little video. I don't know what's going on.
Who owns a casino. So obviously you're gonna be a bit intimidated by the man who owns a casino. Like, what kind of friends does he have to own a casino? Now imagine a man who owns 15 casinos.
Deci, Andrew Tate zice că are cazinouri în România.
How do you generate your income?
The first thing is I own some casinos in Romania.
Mai zice că le deține împreună cu Interlock.
3 brothers, mafia guys, they own 400 casinos throughout Eastern Europe. I came up to him and said, look, I want to do a franchise with you. They agreed.
Dar Tate...
Listen, it's gonna be really hard to go to the judge and be like, listen, I have no connection to the mob. Anyways,
400 casinos throughout Eastern Europe. I came up to him and said, look, I want to do a franchise with you. They agreed.
It's gonna be really hard to talk to the judge and be like, oh, some crypto scams as well. He definitely like laundered money through crypto scams.
Dar Tate e un tip care cam exagerează. De multe ori n-ai de unde să știi când se termină mitologia și când începe adevărul. Până acum, n-a existat public vreo dovadă că frații Tate ar fi jucători în industria cazinourilor din România, cu atât mai puțin că ar fi asociați cu crima organizată. Așa că am încercat să vedem dacă este adevărat. Am mai făcut o cerere la Registrul Comerțului și am mai așteptat încă 10 zile. Și aici a venit surpriza, de fapt. Firma fraților Tate semnase contracte cu alte societăți comerciale care dețin cazinouri. Asta se găsea la adresele respective, de fapt, cazinouri.
Okay, so so his businesses have signed contracts with casinos. Oh no.
Cumva a fost surprinzător tocmai pentru că era adevărat. Frații Tate fac bani din cel puțin 4 cazinouri din București.
And these 4 casinos,
Las Vegas.
They're called Las Vegas. What is this music? These journalists.
În dimineața asta mergem la cazinourile fraților Tate. Cele 4 pe care le-am identificat, ei pretind că au mai multe. Vrem să vedem cum arată.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Like, yeah, Andrew's middle name is Emery. We should just start calling him Emery. That's a really cute name. Hello, Emery.
What I tried to do was find ones in between their competitor and a Starbucks. I'd open in the middle and then I'd offer loads and loads of free coffee with a barista and a sexy chick. So instead of going to Starbucks, you could just take your money and go get free coffee and gamble.
Suntem la periferia.
Okay. So, all right. Now, was this woman trafficked as well? Were any of these women who he made like stand out in front of these casinos, were they trafficked as well? The answer, maybe.
Orașului, nu suntem în centru unde găsești în mod normal un Starbucks fancy sau cafenele de genul ăsta. Suntem într-una dintre zonele sărace ale Bucureștiului, unde jucătorii nu sunt foarte bogați. Este un cartier comunist, efectiv. Și oamenii vin aici să joace salariul minim pe economie, pensia. Clar, ăsta nu e un casino fancy. Puțin mai acolo o benzinărie.
That's so scummy. I'm sorry. Like, opening up a casino is already pretty morally kind of but like opening up a casino in a poor neighborhood specifically to like scoop the low wages and pensions from like poor people and poor old people after like telling them that maybe they could get rich after like gambling, like that's there's something just like straight up morally bankrupt. I mean, it's not really surprising that this guy would do something like this, but I mean, like, geez, dude, it's just like cartoonishly evil. It's like he's a born predator. He's a born predator.
Acolo sunt niște case dărăpânate, nu prea văd cum s-ar potrivi cu descrierea lui Top G.
Ce filmați, domnilor?
Filmăm cazinourile deținute de frații Tate. Da.
Okay. Tate brothers, good boys.
Nu știu a cui și cum e cazinoul, eu sunt jucător doar.
Și ăsta e mai special față de altele? De exemplu,
Păi sunt toate, nu special.
nu întreb dacă e cumva...
Nu știu dacă sunt al lor, nu mă interesează a cui sunt, doar eu sunt jucător. Eu sunt jucător în raid care mi-am vândut 2 apartamente până acum. Îmi pare rău.
He's lost 2 apartments?
N-au furat, n-au dat în cap, n-au făcut absolut nimic.
My lord, this guy's just posted up outside of the Tates casino. I love those guys. I got evicted from 2 apartments after gambling at their casinos. Those guys didn't steal anything from anyone. I wish I could give this somebody reach out. Save this man from himself. Save this man from himself, bro. This is insanity.
And this casino brand is owned by 3 brothers. I overheard them say something like they turn over like 18 million a day or something ridiculous money. Ridiculous money, these 3 brothers, right? Typical Eastern European mafia. Imagine, fat, bald, cigar.
Deci, cine sunt partenerii de afacere ai fraților Tate? Chiar sunt interlopi? Chiar s-ar lăuda frații Tate că s-au asociat cu interlopi? Nu i-ar da în fapt? Ne-am uitat mai atent la ei.
Would they brag about having a business with the mafia? I don't know. I think Tate's just kind of stupid. I think he saw dollar signs and just thought that everything was going to be okay. You know what I mean? Because at first I would have been like, it seems too good to imagine. It seems too easy to imagine that he would just brag about everything that he's done wrong. But then it came out that he was actually doing the things that he was actually doing the things that he said he was going to be doing. And now I'm just like, maybe he was actually bragging about all the crimes he was committing. He's simply just that stupid. He believed his own hype. I think so. I think he was high on his own supply, genuinely. I really think he was. He was just something that you couldn't possibly. He was just the image of like Andrew Tate was bigger than he could possibly even imagine. He couldn't escape it. No, I can see it. I definitely can see it. I mean, he did start a business about how to tell people how to start to become a pimp. So I can't. Every time I think something's unbelievable, it's just so believable. These guys' story is just insane. Would you guys like me to do a sort of like remember when I talked about I want to do sort of like politics, but at like politics history, but as anime, like a manga chapter review type thing, like an arc review type video, you know what I mean? Like the Tate arc. I don't know. Would you guys want me to do something like that to go over like these guys' history to them going to a federal prison? I feel like that could definitely be fun. I don't know.
Documentele pe care le-am obținut sunt contracte de tip joint venture semnate între compania fraților Tate, pe de-o parte Talisman Enterprises și de cealaltă parte o societate numită DMS BetLife. La final, profiturile sunt împărțite 50-50.
Split profits 50-50.
DMS e o firmă care a fost licențiată ca
okay, they are a gambling company.
Numele ei aparent vine de la cei 2 proprietari, frații Doroftei, Mihăiță și Sorin. Se potrivește cu ce a spus Andrew Tate, doar că sunt 2 frați, nu 3. Nu se știu foarte multe. Potrivește cu ce a spus Andrew Tate, doar că sunt 2 frați, nu 3. Nu se știu foarte multe despre frații Doroftei, se țin departe de lumina reflectoarelor și nu sunt genul pe care ea îi asocia în mod normal cu crimă organizată. Frații Doroftei sunt mai degrabă cunoscuți la noi ca fondatorii Ericssef, o gală de lupte MMA. Organizează lupte în cușcă. Evenimentele sunt constant sponsorizate de cazinourile lor, Las Vegas.
Că avem bani și ne permitem! Că suntem sponsorizați, bineînțeles, de către cei de la Las Vegas.
Fratele cel mare, Mihăiță Doroftei, e aproape invizibil pe social media. Am reușit totuși să găsim câteva fotografii vechi cu el pe conturile de social media ale unor apropiați.
That is a fat, balding Romanian man. Like he
Apoi
described.
le-am găsit familia împrăștiată pe social media, adică prieteni, parteneri, asociați. Aici cineva pare că îi plătește unui cântăresc de manele o dedicație pentru familia lor.
Noi suntem o familie. Familia de BSS.
EMS family, huh? Wait, that's a song that he commissioned about himself? He commissioned a song about himself to play in his own casinos? That's crazy.
În gruparea TMS găsim mai mulți oameni care își poartă blazonul tatuat pe corp. În clipul ăsta, unul dintre cei mai celebri cântăreți de manele din România primește bani ca să-i facă o dedicație lui Mihai Țădroftei.
That's gigacock. That's crazy, dude.
Să ne oprim aici, a spus Mihăiță Polonezu. Foarte important. Am descoperit că, deși e născut la Brașov, Mihăiță Doroftei are și cetățenie poloneză. Am căutat prin dosare vechi și am dat peste o stenogramă de la o întâlnire de taină dintre un traficant de
wiretap meeting.
Aflăm că un investitor polonez a adus în 2019 la aceeași masă clanuri interlope din toată România ca să pornească împreună o afacere în industria jocurilor de noroc. Voia să deschidă casino. Că un investitor polonez a adus în 2019 la aceeași masă
several mafia clans from all over Romania launched casino businesses together.
Jocurilor de noroc. Voia să deschidă cazinouri în toate orașele mari din România și să devină numărul 1 în piață. Și o dată pe lună trebuie să merg în Dubai.
They wanted to take over the casino industry by bringing together all the mafia clans.
Polonezul întreabă altcineva. Da, nu contează. Gestul lor de polonez deschide în toată România. El ia toate cazinourile, deschide numai el. Mai zic că polonezul a chemat clanuri din toată țara la un fel de conferință a interlopilor. Practic, investitorul polonez a reușit să facă clanuri rivale să lucreze împreună. Surse judiciare ne-au confirmat off the record că, de fapt, stenograma asta face referire la cazinouri.
Off the record, a law enforcement source confirmed this wiretap is about Las Vegas casinos? Yo, wait a second.
Las Vegas. Dar devine și mai interesant.
But in those, wait a second. Holy shit, what the fuck? Holy fucking shit, dude. If this is the information that the prosecutors have, these guys are it's over. It's so over. It's genuinely never been more over than it is right now. Yeah, so basically, like basically Andrew Tate was trying to work. Well, he wasn't like he wasn't the guy who was orchestrating all of it, but basically he wanted to get in on it. He heard that the mafia was trying to put up casinos, and he was like, "Hey, can I join in?" That's basically what he did. He was like, "Hey, let me listen. We have some money. Can we put down? Okay, listen. I just want to throw my money in. Can we get a cut?" And the mafia was like, I mean, okay, I guess. Something like a Yakuza plotline, but without the colorful characters. Yeah, like really terrible characters instead. But yeah, that's definitely literally exactly what he was trying to do. He was trying to pretend like he was in a Yakuza game.
Chiar înainte ca frații Tate să fie arestați pentru trafic de persoane și viol, procurorii au desfășurat
Police raided what prosecutors say is organized crime linked to Las Vegas casinos. The Tates casinos.
Au fost descinderi la peste 120 de persoane și firme.
Oh, wait a second. That was my bad. I didn't know that they were raiding, that this was like a across the country raid. I thought that this was just like a Tate raid. Wait, Tate's raid was a oh my gosh. Holy shit, guys. Wait, I didn't even think about that. Holy shit is actually really over. It's more over than it ever has been at this moment in time. They raided over 120 people and companies involved in the case with organized crime. And Tates was one of it. Was one of them.
Mulți dintre ei erau angajați fictiv ca tehnicieni de Potrivit procurorilor, mulți dintre ei erau angajați fictiv ca tehnicieni de păcănele, adică reparau aparatele. În realitate, erau de fapt angajați.
So the mob guys were hired as people to repair the machines, but in reality, they were hired to provide muscle. They hostilely took over the competitors' casinos.
Să preia ostil cazinouri de la concurență și să-i bată pe câștigătorii de jackpot-uri ca să aducă
Oh, jeez! Oh, jeez! He killed him! He's dead! And beat up people who won jackpots and lost. Wait! Wait, if you won a holy crap, it's even worse than I thought. So not only did he set up in Not only did he set up in poor areas to fleece poor people by like trying to get them to gamble, but also if you won, they would beat the fuck out of you and then put the money back in the machine. Yo, what? And they were like, oh, how much money? Oh, like I didn't make any money like this. You didn't tell me that, like, when I bought Hustlers University, he didn't tell me that this is how he was making his money. What in the world? They'd rip it from your hands, punch you in the jaw, and put the money back in the machine. That's crazy.
Înapoi în sălile de jocuri banii câștigați. Cei doi frați Doroftei sunt cercetați din noiembrie 2022 pentru constituire de grup infracțional organizat. Recent, Mihăiță Doroftei a fost dată în urmărire oficial de poliția din România. Pe numele său a fost emis un mandat de arestare. E căutat ca lider al grupării. Deci da, frații Tate au cazinouri în România.
So yes, the Tates are in the casino business in Romania.
Da.
And yes, the Tates are in business with organized crime.
Sunt parteneri de afaceri cu crima organizată.
All right, well, lawyers representing Tristan and Andrew Tate could not be contacted for a response. Yeah, I wonder why. Anyways, Ian Miles Chong, the charges against Andrew and Tristan Tate don't make much sense. I mean, for somebody who's like as clinically stupid as you, I can imagine that, you know, they wouldn't make much sense. Yeah, I can imagine they wouldn't make much sense. Yeah, I can see. I can see how you couldn't put 2 and 2 together. Nice one, buddy. Yeah, that really is something. So that is the predicament that we have the Tates in at the moment. I don't think they were arrested. I think they were, well, re-arrested, like put into jail. I'm pretty sure they're still on house arrest at the moment until their court date, but their court date has been set. The women who they've abused will have their day in court if nothing else incredible happens. And even if they pull out, it seems like they still have enough information to be able to accuse them for literally talking about how they're in cahoots with literal criminals, the mafia. So I guess we're just going to have to see what happens. There are a lot of tater tots out here getting really angry and upset about the fact that these guys are going to jail and being indicted for going to jail. But at the moment, it seems like, they're not going to be getting out any time soon. It seems like they had over $100 million in wealth in 2021. It seems a lot of that came from human trafficking women and also illegal gambling money that they stole from people in their casinos that were in cahoots with the literal mafia. And they talked about all of it and talked about how cool it actually was. Now, I personally think that that's a really dumb thing to do. But hey, I'm not Tate. What color is my Bugatti? Oh yeah, the same as his. We'll keep up with the story, all right? Thank you, Tate. Very cool. 9/11 for men who have never talked to women before. 9/11. This is 9/11 for women abusers all across the world. Come here. Come here. Oh. Hi. Oh, sorry. I didn't see you there. If you're enjoying the content, hit the subscribe button. If you don't, it'll make Boo very sad. I know a bunch of you who are watching are not subscribed. Join the frenzy. You won't regret it. Thank you, Boo.